we've been saying, a lot of how next week goes depends on how the president is seen handling issues like Ebola and ISIS and a lot. Yesterday, certainly the general feeling is that he dropped the ball again on Ebola.
Well, we'll see. This morning, there's definitely in his comments, there's still a lot of unanswered questions about how to deal with Americans potentially exposed to Ebola. President Obama is making it clear he doesn't support measures taken by a handful of governors, including Chris Christie, to quarantine health workers returning from West Africa. He did, however, seem to support tougher rules for members of the military who are deployed to countries where the virus is spreading. He says the nation's troops are accustomed to more restrictive conditions.
We got to make sure that those workers who are willing and able and dedicated to go over there in a really tough job, that they're applauded, thanked, and supported. The military is in a different situation, obviously, because they are, first of all, not treating patients. Second of all, they are not there voluntarily. It's part of their mission that's been assigned to them by their commanders and ultimately by me, the commander-in-chief.
Mark Alpern, it's hard to figure out exactly what the President of the United States is saying there. First of all, he's condemning Chris Christie and Andrew Cuomo for a policy that his own government's implementing. And when asked why, he says, well, because they weren't treating patients. Actually, that would mean that there would be less of a need to quarantine them. And it seemed like, again, there were standards there from a president who at the same time was saying we must make all decisions about quarantining and about handling Ebola based on science. This has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with medicine. It looks like the president, once again, was caught in yet another inconsistency. I'm not knocking the president. I'm just stunned. We still can't get a consistent policy on any of these things.
It seems pretty clear, both politically and substantively, as much as the president likes to cling always to being rational and science, as you suggested, sometimes in the face of a crisis, going slow, methodical, rational, science-based is not necessarily the best thing. It still seems to me there needs to be a clear federal policy that the states are consulted on and buy into, and there still needs to be a leader of this movement. We now know that Ron Klain was not supposed to be a czar. He's an internal facilitator and coordinator. I think there still needs to be a federal leader of this effort that would reassure the states and the public that this is both a rational policy and an aggressive policy that puts public safety first.
Yes.